Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Reality Realness with 3 S's. I'm your host here, Chantel Francis, and we are here, or I am here, to talk about the challenge All Stars 2. So it's going to be just me by myself today. So I'm going to be hanging out with you guys in the comments for the most part, just to really talk about how excited I was about seeing this premiere. It really gave me almost everything that I want in an episode, everything except for an elimination. If it gave me an elimination, I would have loved this episode 100%. Now, if this is your first time here on Reality Realness, welcome. Please subscribe and be part of our group of people that love talking about the challenge and other reality TV shows. So we do have some friends joining us. So let's see what everybody's got to say so far. Hi, Jelly Donut. Tina was the star of the episode. Yes, Tina was. I love Tina. I definitely felt as though Tina really brought it. She brought it in her confessionals. She brought it in the challenge. I'm loving what Tina is bringing. And it just all reminded me about how much I really loved these old characters, even the people that we haven't seen in a long time. The dynamic and the energy that they bring is something very familiar to me that I just loved seeing. I loved seeing everybody, but Tina was definitely a standout this episode. And I'm so happy to have her back on my screen. I hope this means that she becomes maybe even an all-star staple. I hope she does well. Absolutely. Hello, Sophie. I'm the only lady here tonight. I didn't realize that most people on All Stars 2 weren't there when TJ became host of the franchise. Absolutely. Yeah, they were there beforehand. I can't remember the two other people right now, their names off the top of my head. I can picture them, but I can't remember their names. But when did TJ start? From the duel? Was it duel 1? You guys will remember this better than I can remember this. All right. Tyler and Jodi said in an interview with Entertainment Weekly that MTV didn't call them back after they won their seasons for whatever reason. Really, I thought that I heard that Jodi had said that she wanted to focus on her family and focus on school, but that could have been maybe I misheard or linking two different interviews together. But that's ridiculous because Jodi's always been an amazing competitor and super just like she's just a good challenge person. She doesn't get into the drama in the same way. She's not messy. She's someone that everybody's always scared of. And I think that she's a good person to have in the game because she's great. Like she's a calm beast. I still don't remember Steve. I remember Steve only when they showed the clips of him. I'm like, oh, I remember that face. But his grown-up self, like him 20 years later, I don't fully recognize. But I think he's really hot. I'm like, he looks good. Hi, Justin. Thank you for being here. Justin says, Tyler said in an interview that he had forgot that he got called twice after Rivals. I didn't even remember seeing him say that, but I would imagine that like he's pretty good. He's won a couple of times. Like he's gone toe to toe. We learned this episode with some of the big dogs of the challenge. And so yeah, I would expect him to get at least some calls eventually, at least after some of his wins. Some of the people on All Stars 2 only did one season of the regular challenge. Absolutely. Like Leah, I don't remember Leah at all. Even when they show the clip of Leah and Kendal going back and forth brick by brick, I don't even remember her. And it could be because she just looks so drastically different, but I don't remember her vibe. I don't remember much about her, but I'm going to go back and watch that season just to remind me of who she is because I don't remember. Maybe I'll see if I can find clips of the Real World Paris. Does anybody know where I can find the Real World Paris? That would be fun to maybe do a rewatch of, just to see messy CT back in the day. Oh, he was so angry. Such a chip on his shoulder. C was the first male to win an elimination. Okay. I don't remember him though, but he's so cute. And he's a hand model, apparently. Where's the girl that almost killed Veronica in a challenge? That was pulling. Wasn't she on season 1? Who was it? Remind me who it was, Sophie. Hi, Andre! Oh, it's only Charming Chantel, Marvelous Michelle, and Fabulous Fanta aren't able to make it today, but it's just going to be me. Hopefully they'll be here next Friday, but they'll definitely be joining me on Wednesday after the episode. So yes. And then I'll get like maybe their little thoughts about episode 1 after the episode, and then hopefully they'll be able to join me on Fridays at around this time in the future. It's kind of like if they can, they can. If they can't, they can't. But we can touch on this episode when we talk about the regular season of the challenge as well. So that's probably what we'll do, just so you guys are aware. Hello. Oops. It's a daisy. Yes, I am going solo, so I'm going to need you guys here in the chat with me. I'm going to go through all your comments right now, and then we'll talk about some of my favorite points of the episode. So it's just going to be a convo with me and you guys. Just kind of fun. You like the double twist. So what Sophie's talking about here is that so we had a daily, we had a winner of the daily. So the daily challenge was with Jodi and Derrick winning, and TJ wasn't really happy with the challengers because they were taking this as an opportunity to kind of slide their way over the balance beam instead of like taking a shot and running across this balance beam between these two boats. So I loved the fact that that TJ was just razzing on these challengers. And this is the TJ energy, the TJ vibe that I'm used to, that I remember from back in the day, where he didn't let people get away with copping out. And like, even Tina jumps in there and being like, I want to see you do it, TJ. And he's like, like, you know, there's a playful energy that I really, really liked about seeing this challenge. And so what he does announce, and he made it seem as though it was because he was irritated with these challengers for not like going across the balance beam like a beam on their feet. Well, if they wanted to do that, they should have just said, you can't touch the beam with your hands. And then you would see people have been trying, you know, to walk across, but they didn't do that. So TJ ends up saying that instead of just choosing one pair or one team or 2 people, they have to actually choose 4 people that are going to be going against the losing team. So the losing team of this particular daily was Nehemiah and Ayanna, and those 2, they thought that they were going to be doing well, and Ayanna ended up actually not getting across the beam. Even though she was laying on the beam, she ended up tipping the beam, falling in the water. So Nehemiah and Ayanna are going to be going into the lair automatically. And then Jodi and Derrick, being the winners of the daily, are going to be choosing 4 people. Now, they didn't make it super clear if it was 2 teams, but I think he said 4 people, which would to me mean that they could choose actually 4 different people, like 2 men, 2 women that are from separate teams, potentially, to go into the lair against Nehemiah and Ayanna. But I wanted to start at the beginning of this, though, just seeing everybody like on the boats and Tina starting to narrate the whole season. I'm like, I just love the energy of it. You know, I like a good spy movie. I love, you know, the ideas of secret agents, spies, all that jazz. But there's something amazingly fun about All Stars where it's tropical, and it starts off with them on a boat and they look pretty, and then they're all at like kind of like a luau party of some sort. We have Tyler, who we haven't seen in a while, and Brad, who we've seen on the main season a few years ago, but you know, I don't mind seeing Brad back again. They're bartending and everybody's drinking and looking like they're having a good time and getting to know each other. Like, this is the vibe that I miss from the challenge, because it's just so serious now. So serious about spy. Like, it started with that with Total Madness, and I didn't love them being in a bunker where they got no sunlight and it just wasn't like, you know, spring break party time. And we hear from Katie even last season, I think, saying that it was like used to be spring break for adults. And I want a little bit more of that spring break for adults vibe. Summer camp for adults. Like, I like that. And this kind of reminded me of that right in the beginning, which is showing everybody having a good time drinking. It seems like it's sponsored by Corona. because like a lot of Corona cheersing, and we have, what's his name, Steve, talking about how he's a very famous hand model. So I would like to maybe find some images of his work to see if his hands are as gorgeous as he's claiming that they are, which is kind of fun. I loved it when TJ called Tina Big Mouth. Yes, Tina is a big mouth, and he remembers that. Tina's great. Leah gives me Kelly Wigglesworth vibes. Oh, well, Kelly's Wigglesworth had some plastic surgery. So is it before the surgery or after the surgery? Maybe after? I don't know. I don't fully see it, but maybe I need to see a side by side. Andre says, oh, yeah, exactly. Shoo, shoo, spy, shoo, shoo, allies, agents, shoo, shoo, explosion, shoo, shoo, no fun, and taking themselves too seriously. Absolutely. Shoo, shoo, Cass, with no chemistry. I'm happy. Yes, Andre, I am happy too with this. It was like, I was watching it and I was like revitalized. I was like, yes, this is what I'm missing. I don't care if I haven't seen you in 20 years. Like, this is the energy that I want from the challenge. And I was talking on Reality Pop just before I got on here with you guys, and Drew from the Angel Cake Network was mentioning, like, you know, we should maybe have on Paramount Plus then start churning the real world seasons out again, and like then going back to that well, because their formula, I find, with having people from the real world and people from Road Rules competing against each other, I think that works. And the characters that they cast for those seasons of the Real World and Road Rules, I prefer seeing them on, you know, the challenge, because it's out of their element necessarily. I don't necessarily enjoy as much, it seems, that MTV goes and outsources people from all these other shows and whatnot and make them become, a rookie. It doesn't work because these rookies don't seem to know the show. Whenever there was a rookie that was coming on to the season back in the day, we're like, oh my God, like, I just watched them on the most recent season of Road Rules and Real World. Like, how are they going to do? I wonder who they're bringing on. Like, there was an excitement about who was going to get picked to be a rookie on each season of the challenge. So I'm kind of with Drew here. I think that they should go back to that, at least for All Stars. Just like keep All Stars as a separate entity or something, because I love the challenge. I will always watch. I will always cover it, but it's losing some steam for me, the main season, and All Stars is bringing me back to life. Steve, Sophia, and Ayanna weren't there for TJ. You don't think so? Oh yeah. Oh, sorry. That meant like what weren't there for him. I didn't like him. Oh, okay, so they never actually met him before. That makes sense. Steve was from ages ago. And that makes sense for Ayanna and Sophia as well. So are those the only three, Andre? Will we get Coral on an All-Star season? We can dream, can't we? I would love to see Coral on an All-Star season. I really wish that whatever went down officially with Evan and Kenny never went down, because I would love to see a Kenny and Evan on All Stars. Like, that would be interesting, even if like Wes came, and like, because I think Wes was supposed to be on, or he might still be on season 3. Like, it would be really interesting to have all these people that were always competing against each other 10 years ago, 15 years ago, come back again. That'd be kind of interesting. But I think that they signed a way that they would ever come back to MTV, unfortunately. Hi, Deboo. How are you? So whatever Tina has for breakfast, they need to give to Casey. Well, do you know one thing it is? And, you know, I know a lot of you don't care for astrology, but I love astrology. And one of the things about Tina is that she's a Gemini. So Gemini is an air sign, and that means that they are ruled by Mercury, which is the planet of communication, which means that they talk to a lot of people potentially. They're very social. And I would say that Tina would be maybe an extreme version of that, whereas she might be a little bit loud and talk to too many people a lot and kind of, that's like the extreme version of a Gemini. But Casey is a Capricorn. Capricorn tend to be loyal workhorses that are an earth sign. So think about it, very grounded, very stable, very reliable. As I mentioned, they will willing to do the work, but they're not a social butterfly. And Tina is a social butterfly. So what Casey needs, she needs a little bit of air, Gemini in her life in order for her to get a little bit more energy. TJ started Gauntlet 2. So, oh my God, I had to like go back and remember exactly. So Gauntlet 2, I need to look at the list. What was after Gauntlet 2? Let's see. If I can find it quickly. I love it when it was still like Real World versus Road Rules, though. Oh, it was so good. Okay, so on Gauntlet 2 was Elton, Ibis, Jamie, Jodi was on Gauntlet 2, Keena, Landon, MJ, so MJ knows TJ, Randy, Susie. Got it. Oh, and then Fresh Meat was next. Okay, got the order. So that totally makes sense. And I guess those are the only 3 people that were pre-Gauntlet 2. Thank you, Justin. So Audrey says I could watch an entire season of Casey Cooper failing spectacularly, attempting a challenge. It's so funny. That's the lighthearted stuff that we don't get on the main show. I've missed her. Absolutely. Like I'll make fun of, her not necessarily being capable physically, but she's still an enjoyable character to watch on our show. Like, I like Casey Cooper on my TV screen. I do. I agree with you. I totally agree with you, Andre. It's nice to have her back. It's a familiar face. Hopefully she's whining as usual and like not wanting to do something and clutching to the ground. I mean, like, I'm not going to jump and crawling back. Like, this is what we want to see from her, to see if she's still the same Casey. It was super, super fun. I can't believe it's been 18 years for Leah. Like, that's a long time to have not been part of the show. I wonder if she's been watching them. That's what I'm curious, if who has been a fan and has been keeping up with the seasons, or if she's completely removed herself from that world. One thing that I got to hand it to MTV in general, but I feel like they make a point of it with All Stars, is their music choices are on point. Like, starting the episode with Everybody playing, and I'm just like, yes, Backstreet's back, all right. And I'm like, it takes me back every single time. They played Paula Abdul. Like, they're just so many old school artists that really take me back to my youth and when I was actually watching these seasons live, that I love that they bring the nostalgia. They're doing a great job about that, 100%. I did write, oh my God, I remember Steve now, but I forget him after I saw the clip of him. I don't remember him anymore from back in the day. But did he have a fling thing with Katie as well? Was that what was going on? I need to go back and watch that season as well. Because when I did my rewatch, I only started at Fresh Meat 2. So I'm going to go back and do maybe 0 to Fresh Meat. Maybe I'll do that this weekend. Even though I'm watching Taskmasters right now. Have any of you guys watched Taskmasters? Let me know if you do and what you think of that show. Because I was considering of maybe doing some Reality Realness Taskmaster type podcasts, events, something like that. I'm curious if there's any interest and if people watch it, or if you just like maybe an episode to be recapped or a season. Let me know. Because right now I'm doing a rewatch or a watch of that and a marathon of it. I've gone through the first 2 seasons, since yesterday. So I'm hooked. Teck, what is Teck saying? I'm like Amazon, I'm the total package. Oh, he's just so funny. Like, I love, like, people are making fun of his Pepto-Bismol spoot, and it doesn't even care. Nothing phases him. Like Teck, money he's just gold, and this is casting gold. He's still got the charisma, still got the charm. Like, I'm here for Teck. And I also love that Teck is an Aquarius. Like me, I think his birthday is like a day or two after mine. So he's even a January Aquarius, if I'm not mistaken. So I like taking credit for all the Aquariuses that I really love and like. So we have Jonna, really fangirling over Tina. And I love that Jonna is like, she knows what she did wrong last season and how she wants to improve her game. She knows that she can't play the same game that she was playing last season. So she is coming back, and she is like already starting with Tina, being like trying to get into Tina's good books, which I think is what she needs to do. Like, she could tell that Tina is going to be a big character. And you probably want to be on that big character's side if she wins any power. So loved it. Tina didn't start hosting in 2005 or 6. What was it? So we'll find out now. Oh, my phone's dead. Never mind. But I guess that's when the gauntlet was. So Leah was hooking up with Darrell back in the day. Really? Thanks, Tatiana. Thanks for being here. I'm doing a solo mission. So yeah, you guys, I'll be going through all your comments and then going through whatever notes that I took as well, and just having a general little chit chat. This is your time to talk about Challenge All-Stars 2. That's some good tea. I want to find out more about that, Tatiana. I will do some research about that because I don't remember that from back in the day. I'm gonna have to go back old school. I'm gonna have to. Yeah, I know. I got confused. And then I realized I'm like booing up. Is that what she's saying? And then I was like, no, it's hooking. Is Paris on Paramount? I don't know. I can't check now, but if somebody can let me know if Paris is on Paramount, then I'll totally just watch it. Like, because they're gonna be short episodes. They're probably like 23 minutes, I would assume. So I can get through a season pretty quickly. Yeah. Sophie doesn't remember Leah. I'm sorry, Leah. I would like to remember you, but I don't remember you. Julie, I know. Julie would be a great person to come back to this season. Or the All-Stars like realm. I would like to see her with maybe Montana and Beth. That could be interesting. Team rankings. Fanta first. Michelle, me third. My team is so good. So Fanta's team, just to remind us here, I'm going to write it in the comment box. I forgot to do that, but or the description box, I mean. So Fanta's team is Tyler, Kendal, Nehemiah, Casey, Kahada, Sophia, Ryan, and Melinda. Michelle's team is Darrell, Tina, MJ, Janelle, Teck, Ayanna, Steve, and Leah. And my team is Brad, Jodi, Derrick, both Derricks. So both Derricks, Jonna, Latarian, Katie, and Jasmine. I think that my team's pretty good. Was seeing that I have Jodi and Derrick who won the first daily, so getting some points there, boo. I'm sad that I don't have Tina. Tina would have been who I would have taken second, but Michelle took her, and that is definitely somebody I would have loved to have on my team, but I think that it's a good trade-off for Jodi. So I think that Fanta has the weakest team personally, but we'll see. There's no real points to give out this episode, just for the fact that it's just me getting points for the daily. So just saying. Hi, Natalie. Thanks for being here. So Natalie says, I wish Beth was on this season because I would want to see her and Tina's reunion. Don't we all? But maybe they're saving that for like future down the road, because isn't Beth going to be on season 3 with Veronica? And maybe like they're already filming. So I don't remember Tina being on that list again. I like that TJ made fun of the challengers for how they did the challenge. Me too. Old TJ's back. Tina was an icon of this episode, calling out TJ. Yes, her confessionals. Yes, her versus Leah. Yes, I love her too. I'm so happy she's back. But I thought that Leah was being a little bit like, not snobby, but kind of stuck up-ish. Like, I don't know. Like, Tina was just like, have some fun. Like, go and jump in the pool. And she's like, no. Like, and telling Tina basically to be quiet and like, this is silk. I mean, I know Tina gets off on pushing people to do maybe what they don't want to do, but I don't know. Indulge her a little bit, Leah. It's a new season. It's fun. So Sophie says it seems like the theme for the season of the Challenge All-Stars is running from your past, with the way TJ hinted at it in the opening minutes of the episode. Yes, so and you can't run too far from your past. So I'm wondering if that's kind of like a rivals thing might come up, or like, I'm wondering like who people are not that connected. So who are the connections here? We have Jonna is connected with Derrick, C, and Jasmine, of course. Obviously, Jonna was also on season 1 of All Stars. We learned that Janelle was the reason why she auditioned. No, Darrell is the reason why Janelle auditioned for her season of The Real World, because they know each other from the Bay Area, apparently. And so they've hung out in real life. They know each other on a personal level quite well. And so that's a good connection. Then she also has, from her season of The Real World, Tyler. So that's some bonds that might come through. Obviously we see Derrick and Jodi having a bit of a connection there. What other connections do we have? We have the Nehemiah and Derrick not being able to really get along very well. I'm curious how Tina is going to get along with like everybody that she was on we'll say the duel with, because that was the last season that she performed on. So on that season we had Brad, Jodi, I believe Derrick was on there as well. Is that it? I think so. Oh, and Nehemiah was on that. So that could be interesting. Kendal and Leah might have maybe another face-off, being that they did face off on that brick by brick challenge. Casey, I think, just coming back to the show. Was she on the duel too? Yeah, she was. So Casey's in there as well. Kahada, I don't remember Kahada having any beef with anybody. Everybody loves Kahada. Ryan might have some beefs with people, but I don't remember. Melinda has some beats with eliminations because she never wins them. I'm curious about Steve and Katie, since they seem to have dated maybe, or they were on, I think, the same Real World Road Rules season. So I would like to see if some drama comes there. Oh, also with Darrell, he has that connection with Kendal. Actually, it's a lot more linked up than I was really giving it credit for. It seemed like people were a little bit more spread out, but you're right, TJ and Sophie. Like maybe there is going to be a lot more reckoning of one's past than I was actually really even thinking about. Did they film the Challenge 37 and All Stars 2 at the same time? Because it looks like both took place at the same place. I feel like it couldn't have been the same time, because TJ, I don't think, would want to be bouncing back and forth in this at the same time frame. But it might have been one after each other. I think it was filmed after. But you guys in the chat, Natalie, do you know? The music of this episode was, yes, top tier. You're giving it. It's what I need. They could have made the episode an hour only for the premiere. Well, I know that they did that, absolutely. But like, what they did on Spies, Lies, and Allies is they had that pre-show, like that hour of like get to know all the characters, and then they came in with a full episode. So I would have liked to see them do something like that, either make it an hour and a half, 2 hours, or have it be in 2 chunks where there was like a pre-show, like an intro show, and then the full episode, because I love the beginning and I love them introducing people and I love seeing the dynamics building. I love seeing our man Teck, getting in the nude and jumping in that pool. I loved Ayanna recognizing his kingly scepter and being intrigued by it. Maybe there's going to be a hookup there. Who knows? So they're from the same era, in the same age group. I'm not sure if Ayanna is married or if Teck is married, or either of them have significant others. So I would like to see how that goes along. But yeah, I love this character development. I just wish that I saw a full episode. Now I'm assuming it's because they know that nobody wants any of their favorites to go home, and so they're kind of dragging it out a bit. But I would have loved to see a full episode with a elimination. So Sophie said, I just saw the challenge season 37 episode this week and missed the old days. Yes, when they showed you why someone got kicked off the show. Yeah. You were with us yesterday, weren't you, Sophie, when we talked a lot about how it was just very frustrating that we had to go in super sleuth on Reddit to find out what happens on a show when it's something that is, a big topic. And I understand the reason why they didn't share it was because it was for the privacy of Josh, and Josh asked them not to air what she had said. But I wish that maybe even just mentioning like around about what had happened, that she said things that were that weren't appropriate, and that's why she left the show. At least giving us that instead of us being like, did she get hurt? What'd she do? And like kind of speculating. And I would just rather know from MTV. So when will Landon show up on the Challenge All-Stars? I guess only in my dreams so far. I would love to see a Landon back on my screen. I think he just got married like a year ago, so maybe he's in like honeymoon bliss right now. But I hope that he gets the itch and he decides to come back, because I would love to see him come back on the show. Andre says, can you believe season 3 they have Jordan and Wes? I know. And young girls like Kayla and Sylvia. No fair. I know. I'm not really that plussed about Kayla and Sylvia. I would have rather them like go back to somebody like a Leah that I don't even remember than Kayla and Sylvia. I just don't know if I want that energy. Like, I guess that it's around from the same era as Janae. So if we're bringing Janae back, I think that, Kayla was after that. She was what? She was Invasions of the Champions. Is that what was her first season, or was it before that? But no matter what, I do feel like they're too new. Now, they were both on Real World seasons, so that's maybe why they're bringing brought back. And I think that that's maybe the prerequisite, is those people that have been on either the Real World or the Road Rules. But I think that they should have maybe had the cutoff point at like a certain time, because like the last like 2 seasons of the Real World were terrible. I watched them. I didn't watch the Facebook one, but I watched the other ones up until that point. Oh, you're Gemini as well. I love Geminis. Geminis are great. They're another air sign. So I love Geminis, Aquarius, and Libras for sure. And I love fire signs for sure. So Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries. All people I get along usually very well with. So love you, Jelly Donut. Woohoo, Gemini. Sophie likes Darrell in Confessional. Yes, he's hilarious. Saying him saying why TJ keeps messing with him every season. He is Confessional gold. I love Darrell. I will always have him back. There's never going to be he's never going to be overplayed in my book. Like, we look at the main season, I think that the Big Brother people they're kind of played out. I don't really care what they're going to bring to the table next season. Darrell can come back again and again And again, because he delivers, I'm interested in him playing. He goes down, he competes, like he's a winner. Like it's just, he's an all-around challenger that I appreciate him. So I love his confessionals as well. So Jodi was a social butterfly. Girl was working that room. Yes, she was. Even having that conversation with Sophia and just kind of like tapping into who Sophia knows and maybe trying to build her numbers and letting her Sophia know that she also has a couple people that she, has number side that she knows from her season. And I think that was just kind of like planting the seed with Sophia that like maybe we can join forces. So she definitely was working the room, but I'm worried because somebody that she has her close connection with is Miss Jasmine. And yes, she may be older. Yes, she may be a married mother, but she seems like she's going to revert back to some of her Jasmine ways. And in that the season long trailer, we kind of see that she has some moments where she's yelling. I don't know if she's yelling at Janae or yelling about a situation to Janae, but it seems like, she might pop off. Or Jasmine might. No, she will pop off for sure. It went Inferno to Gauntlet to Fresh Meat. Got it. So I'm going to have to go back. I'm going to start from the beginning and just rewatch all of it. I thought Eric from the first Real World was supposed to be on the Challenge All-Star 2. I never heard that. I never heard that, but I like what's his last name? Nyes, Eric Nyes. I like him. I would like to see him again. Anybody old school? I love it. Corey said that almost every fight this season was staged on the main season. Oh, that's so annoying. See? It's garbage. Casey Cooper retired from the challenge too early and too young. Well, she's back. Maybe she's making her resurgent. She is going to be, I don't think she's going to be a force to be reckoned with, but I'm going to enjoy watching Casey Cooper this season. Corey said that the last main season, most of the fights were staged so that people can get called back. That sounds like a Josh thing. And like maybe Josh and Devin, they kind of concocted that plan. That's super whack. And that's kind of what Dee was doing, trying to build storylines outside of the actual season and like being like, okay, like let's have a fight. Let's have a Twitter fight. Let's do this. So like they can have like a storyline for the next season. See, that's why they should just be taking it from the people from the Real World and Road Rules and like people just being excited to be part of the new season. And I don't know, the stage drama is so boring to me. Hi, Wendy. Thanks for being here. Just got here. Okay, well, thanks for joining us. I'm going to go watch from the start. So excited. Still watch the regular one. Go CT, but All Stars is my gig. Yes, Wendy, All Stars is my gig as well. I enjoyed All Stars so much. It's just been just so nostalgic. Whether it's the music, the people, the vibe, like all of it is just like brings me back to a happy place. So happy. So some of the All-Stars haven't watched the regular challenge since they last were part of it. Do you know that for a fact? Like, where'd you hear that, Sophie? Oh, what's Taskmasters? So Taskmasters is a British reality game show. And basically they have 5 comedians and there's a taskmaster and then he has his kind of like his butler or his assistant. And they set the tasks that they have to do. So sometimes they're very silly, sometimes they're very specific, and they each have to do these tasks. And whoever the taskmaster thinks does this task the best will get the points. And then at the end of the season, they win. Well, the prize that they win. So at the beginning of every episode, they have to bring a memento that's blue that really means something to you. And so the taskmaster will rank those tasks or those mementos that they bring in. And that's what will be won at the end of the episode. So it's just quite silly things. They had to make dinner for the taskmaster using every letter of the alphabet as an ingredient to a certain degree. And so whoever you'd lose points if you didn't have a particular letter. Anyways, it's just quite silly and fun. They make people have to rescue cats out of trees or keep balls on top of a hill. Like, it's so many ridiculous tasks, and then we watch them do it, and then they grade them and give them points on whoever does the best. So it's on YouTube if you want to look it up. There's like 11 or 12 or maybe even 13 seasons. Katie said this season of All Stars will be more cutthroat than the last season. Yep, because I think that they realize that like there's a lot of real money on the line, and they could probably win it if they tried a little harder. So I'm happy. That's something that Katie said. She was like, I trained, like I got my head in the game. I'm coming back to win and play really hard. So I'm really excited to see that transformation with Katie. Also, Janae, she looks like she's been working out a little bit more. She knows what she did wrong in her season. She came in third, which is still pretty great, but it's not the win. So I think that Janae came back to hopefully win because it was just in her reach. Absolutely. Yes, I love it being outside and all tropical. So even TJ showing up and talking about, this is where you're talking about it, Sophie, saying you can never outrun your past. Be ready for anything at any time, which is so fun to hear because it's going to be messy. They showed poor Casey's footage, though, and I'm just like, she's never going to live down that footage. Same with Katie. She even talks about her children, like, not being able to live down her falls that they keep on playing over and over and over again. But Katie's ready to compete. MJ, I'm so excited to see MJ here. Like, he hasn't been on the show for like 12 years. He said that when he was last in the show, his daughter was 2, her daughter's now 14. I think that that's just like fun to be like, oh my God, like my dad was cool back then and now he's doing this. Like, I think it's so awesome to see that they're coming back as like adults with grown children and to compete on the show. I'm loving it. So Nehemiah gives the welcome toast, and that's something else that I've been missing as well. As like, remember they used to get everybody together and they make this toast, and like they're so excited for the season to come. I also miss getting that T-Mobile Sidekick like ring. I just got a message from TJ. Like, you can bring that back, please. I love it. I miss it. Like, wear your team colors, wear your, uniform, like wear your bathing suits. Like, I want those things to come back. So hopefully they'll at least come back in All Stars. So Teck gets naked, jumps in the pool. We gotta love it. Gotta love it. Ayanna loves it. We see Derrick talking to Jodi, and like I loved this too, is that they just fall back into their regular dynamic. They haven't seen each other in, I think they said 15 years, but they still are like, okay, I know I can work with you. I know what you're like. I know how you can perform. And like they're just ready to stick together, and they're already strategizing from the beginning, in the strategizing in the way that like I like to see it, where it's kind of like, okay, like we're going to work together, looking at who's going to be competitive, who they might want to partner up with. Like, I love it. I was so excited to see them getting back together. And he said that he started his real road rule journey with Jodi, which is super awesome. That like the beginning of his MTV world was with Jodi, and now so many years later, they get to kind of work together again. And like, yeah, maybe Derrick's lost a little hair and Jodi looks a little bit older, but they still look kind of the same, which I think is also really awesome. So Jonna, yeah, I talked about it already, but talked to Sophia, which I liked. Leah thinking Tina is loud. I'm like, I don't feel like Leah is going to even make it past this episode. So who do you guys think that Jodi and Derrick are going to throw into, I don't know what it's called yet. We'll say the arena for now. They have 4 people. Do you think that they are going to throw in people that they think are threats? Do you think that they're going to throw in people that they don't have any connections to? I want to hear what your 2 guys and 2 girls that you think that Jodi and Derrick are going to throw in. Yes, I love that Darrell and Janelle know each other, but nobody else knows that. So I think that that's also probably going to be really good, especially if there's ever like, things like it's a girl's day or a guy's day, and so Janelle can keep potentially Darrell safe and vice versa. So I love that they have kind of a secret alliance. I don't know if it's going to be that secret, but as of right now, I'm loving it. Paula Abdul playing Opposites Attract. To my heart, I have like dances that I did to Opposites Attract. I think I even made up a dance that I was going to use to audition for Star Search to Paula Abdul. I think so. We do get Derrick C trying to be the social butterfly, and he dresses up like Tina. The name is Anit, so Tina backwards. So this is why the Paula Abdul song was playing. And he kind of goes out with some of her hair extensions and her dress on, and he kind of goes strutting his stuff as Tina's alter ego, which was super fun. So TJ announces at the Daily that it's going to be for $500,000. Love that it's still a nice big ticket prize pack. I'm hoping that it's like $350,000 and then second place gets a little something and third place gets a little something. Hoping for that because, you know, these people, a lot of them have families and they're taking time to be on the show. So getting a little bit of money for getting to top 3 would be kind of awesome. So hopefully they'll do that, but I, for some reason, don't think they will. Hope so, though. So T also says that they might be running in teams. They might be running in pairs. They might be running solo. So it's going to be mixing around back and forth, which I like. Just so people don't start making the numbers strategy. They don't know who they might need. So like taking out the big hitters might not bode well for you if you get paired with somebody that's not that strong. And so it's going to change the gameplay a little bit. And I think it might save Tina for a little bit because, you know, she seemingly is quite strong. So I didn't write down all the pairs, but the funniest pairing or almost pairing was Tina's looking at Nehemiah. And Nehemiah's like side eyes her and goes with Ayanna. Did not go for Tina. And I love how Tina reacted to this. She didn't really make a big fuss about it, except for in her confessional. Maybe she will further down the road, like next episode or the second half of this one. But I do like that she just made it into like calling him out in her confessional. I thought that was funny. So they're playing boarding party. We talked a little bit about the challenge. So basically what they have to do is they climb up on a boat. They have to grab some skulls. They had to take the skulls from one boat to another boat, crossing a beam. The first person that went was, I believe, Ryan and Jasmine. And they decided to kind of shimmy and slide their way across the beam. So they didn't fall in. And they did and at the end, so they get to the other boat and then they have to run and dunk their skull into like a little net. So most people manage to do this quite well or like decently with sliding across the beam. But unfortunately, Nehemiah and Ayanna didn't DQ essentially, but I guess so. Nehemiah finished the whole task, so he was able to dunk his skull, but Ayanna fell into the water at the beam. So basically, if both players from any other team after them cross the beam, then the bottom players, which are going to be Ayanna and Nehemiah, are going to go straight to the lair or the arena or elimination, whatever we're calling it this season. So the whole time they were hoping that somebody would do worse than them, but nobody did, not even Casey Cooper. But hilarious was when Casey goes, and she's quite small. She says she's 5'1.5". And so Teck is like, don't worry, I got you. So he picks her up and like tries to like help give her a little bit of a boost to get closer to the net because it seemed to have like maybe blown away. And she still missed it. So she did miss the ball, but she made it further than Nehemiah and Ayanna, so they're not going to be going in. But it was really funny just seeing him just like toss her over, but she still couldn't get it in. But poor Nehemiah, he had his head in his hands and just like so upset. I'm wondering if he's regretting not taking Tina, because Tina, she tapes her boobs down to do this competition, and she ended up going with Steve. It was one of those like turn around, like, I guess I'm partners with you moments. And they ended up dominating and having a really super fast and competitive time. So at this point, the two fastest teams are Derrick and Jodi and Tina and Steve, and nobody else was able to really beat them. And Tina was trying to have a little bit of a tension moment, being like, it was 1 second. Was it this episode? I might be mixing up All Stars in this. Was there a 1 second difference between the top two teams for this, or was it for, what was the challenge in All Star in regular season? No, they outright run. So yeah, so 1 second separated the two top teams. And in the end, it was, as we talked about already, Jodi and Derrick that were to win. So I really don't know what they're going to do. So we can talk about that in a minute for a bit. We mentioned that we love TJ giving them shit. Go TJ, get on them about their performances. I mean, they're not going to change that much for you anyways, but like it makes a funny moment. And it seems like TJ's really happy. He seems more in his element than he is when he's playing like the handler on Spies, Lies, and Allies. Like he likes being fun, kind of goofy. You know, he used to be just like a BMX biker guy that came over and he's like wants people to compete in these like sand games, you know? And so I think that he's enjoying being with his friends that he grew up with. Like these are the people that you know, Mark Long, he's known Mark Long the whole time. He's known some of these people so long. And so I'm happy that he seems to be in his element. Thank you, TJ. So yes, they're going to have to choose 4 players, 2 men and 2 women. And then the house is going to vote who's going to be going in against Nehemiah and Ayanna. And one thing that I love that Nehemiah said, because what I usually have a problem with Nehemiah and his gameplay, I think that he's charming. I think he gets along with people at times, except for Derrick, I guess. But he doesn't like to get involved in the politics or the strategy of it all. And he says that he's going to be coming and going at this game a little bit differently. And he's not playing this noble game. And so I hope that with him not playing necessarily this noble game, that maybe he can be a cutthroat enough to come out with a win this episode or this season. So I would love to see it. I don't know if he'll be able to do it because having Derrick as an enemy isn't great. So maybe he'll mend that fence. But I'm happy to see that he's hopefully coming to the season with kind of new attitude, new energy for sure. MJ said he looked like, Pepto-Bismol, yes, in that suit. Yes, and yes, Teck says, because I'm the shit. Teck is so funny. It's refreshing to see the cast have real jobs, not IG Instagram influencers and after followers. Absolutely. Casey is an accountant. Tyler is a teacher. Janelle is a nurse, etc., etc. More authentic. Correct, because they chose real people and put them in a house or put them on an RV, you know, like, and then they stopped doing these shows and they went on with their real life. They didn't start on these shows as a way to boost their career and boost their lives. So their intentions in the beginning were a lot different than some of the new wave of reality show contestants. Like they all just want the followers and the influencer money. But everybody else like are real people. All Stars 3 could be premiering in January or February of next year. Is it that early? Oh man. I think we just need a little bit of a break, you know? Just like a little chill. Do you see Tim coming back on the challenge since he was a funny one? Yeah, I could see Tim coming back. I could see him. Timmy. Can you pin? Yeah, I will pin it. I forgot to do it. I will put it in the description box right after I get off of this. And then I'll post our teams on @RealityRealness on Instagram. And I don't use the Twitter that much, but I'll post it on Twitter as well. Realness without the E on realness. The second E. I kind of remember Amaya. I kind of remember Amaya as well, but I don't. I'd have to see her again. Beth was busy filming the second season of that Real World spinoff show. Right. Homecoming. If it's called Homecoming again. Oh my God. Production effed up on All Stars 3 between Tina, Beth, and Veronica. Are all 3 of them on it, or is Tina not on it? Just Beth and Veronica. Maybe Tina didn't want to come back. Is Rachel going to be on season 3 of All Stars? I don't remember Rachel on that list. No. Ryan and Casey have some sort of history. Really? Ryan's from All Star, from Fresh Meat 2? 1, 2, 1, 2. So do they know each other? How Casey was done by that, wasn't she? Let me know what the tea is, Sophie. Rachel said that if she returns, she'll do main season, and it's most likely season 40. Really? Okay. So like in a couple years? I love Ayanna's confessionals about Teck being naked in the pool. Yes, it's King Scepter. I should name the title of this episode as King Scepter. Can Casey replace Casey? I'd rather Casey Cooper, sorry Casey, than regular Casey. Yeah, definitely. Who from All Stars do I want to see back on the main challenge? I could see Tyler back there, maybe. Obviously, Darrell. Maybe like a Janelle. Let's see Janelle back there. Like, they don't have that many, like, Black women right now on this season that are kind of coming back in the mix. So I would like to see Janelle. I'm assuming that she's mixed Black, but she might be Latina. I'm not sure. But I'd like to see her. Who else? Actually, let me look at my list. Look at the list. Nehemiah, I wouldn't mind seeing going back there. I mean, I would love for Tina to just come back and so give Amanda and Ashley, if she's allowed back, a run for their money with being loud, you know? I'd love to see Jodi go back there. That'd be pretty cool. But I think it's too long of a taping schedule. Those are people that I think would do well and they come back. Brad and Derrick, I don't know if I want to see them back there, to be honest. When do we think that we'll see the Challenge All-Star Season 3? It will definitely be the new year. When will this one be done? This one will be done, it's going to be, 10 episodes maybe? So right now was week 1. So it'll finish probably end of January. So maybe March? Because when is season 38 going to be? Yeah, maybe March, and then season 38 goes on after it. It seems like with the Challenge All-Stars franchise, they are taking the playbook of casting for the challenge for future Challenge All-Stars. You think? I just want them to keep with the old school real world road rules. I don't want them to tap into the people that they've been taking for the new seasons. Jasmine was supposed to be on the first season of All Stars, but Jonna took her spot. Oh, wow. I mean, Jonna, I think it was really great glow up for Jonna. So I'm happy that it went that way because I don't think that Jasmine would have done as well as Jonna did. Can we get Josh banned from the challenge? I don't want to keep seeing him responsible for people getting kicked off every season down the road. Honestly, I agree with you, Natalie. Of course, I do not want him to have received any, super negative comments or like people outing him or whatnot. I don't want him to be going through that. But his energy has been the catalyst of 2 people on this season being kicked off the show. And not that I like Polly, but I think Polly was another person that got into an altercation with Josh, and now he's not on the show anymore. And so it just seems as though him getting in fights with people, because that's what he does. He gets in arguments and fights with people, and unfortunately, sometimes these people go too far and say the wrong thing, and he comes out looking like he's the victim a little bit. So I don't want anything bad to happen to him. Absolutely. I don't want people to treat him poorly in that regard, but he is the common denominator for a lot of people getting kicked off. And so maybe remove that and you won't have that many people leaving. So did we watch The Genius and International Survivor? So I've seen the first 2 seasons of The Genius, I think, or 1.5 for sure. I definitely seen the first season and most of the second season. Did I finish it? I can't remember. And I think there's 4 if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I'll go back and watch The Genius for sure. I loved it. It was so fun to watch. International Survivor, I've seen and I covered. So if you want to go back and check it out, I did Survivor South Africa. I covered that with Sarah from Nerdtainment. And then also I've watched the season, most of the season beforehand. So season 7 of South Africa. And then I've seen all of Australia except for Brains versus Brawn, which I kind of started now, but it's always like I don't feel like watching things on my computer sometimes. And so I was trying to stream it onto my computer, and my Apple TV kept on saying error every time I was streaming it from my phone or from my computer. So it was just annoying me. So those are the only ones I've seen. I might have seen some maybe New Zealand. I think I've seen 1 season of Australia, of Survivor. That sounds like the British version of the challenge. No, it's not like that at all. These people are more stuck up and it's very, very different. Very different. Jodi said that she hasn't watched the regular challenge since she last competed on the challenge in 2005. I'm sure though that she must have watched some season. She must have watched at least season 1 of All Stars in Sequester. I would hope so. Jodi, she better. Katie said that she won't come back until COVID's over. Okay. That's because, yeah, I guess the quarantine makes it too long. It must be hard filling both the challenge and All Stars with COVID protocols. Exactly. It makes it very long being away from your family. Oh, hey, am I not good enough for you? Boo, but they'll be back. Don't worry. Oop, allegedly Janae and MJ hooked up in the past, right? Oh, I wonder how they picked 24 people for the season with 8 of them returning from last season. I think it's who got the call, who said yes, and who was able to quarantine at those times. Can Jodi replace Tori? I would love that. Thank you. Tina and Brad. I mean, I don't hate Brad, but I don't know if I care for his energy on the main season. But I would replace Brad with any of the Big Brother people at this point. So we don't know who the 4 people. No, I know. I'm saying like we should speculate. So who do we think? That's what I want to know. Who do we think that Jodi and Derrick are going to call in to be deliberated with? Ryan is playing for a dog and his man that he doesn't have. Oh, I know. Ryan was funny. What was it that looked at? Yes. Oh my God. Nehemiah was not wanting to be with Tina. It's funny. Hi, Jorge. ¿Cómo estás? Hello. Haven't been in for a while. New job has been very busy. Love the first episode. Yes, so did I. All Stars just knows what we want. Exactly. Also, once again, love the music choices. Yes. They just know which songs to use. Exactly. I don't know if do they have I'm going to look. That's something actually I'm going to look at the credits to see if it's different people. I need to know. That's if I don't do it by Wednesday, remind me, guys, and let me remember to do it because I want to see if it's different people. So we only got 10 episodes of All Stars, and we are almost done with the main challenge by having 5 or 4 episodes left. Yes. So I just think that All Stars is going to go for like a month or a month and a half after regular season ends. That's what I think. Love how TJ is here. Yes, George. Yes. He even mocked Tina. Exactly. Calling her a loudmouth. Yes. Yes. Big mouth. Tina Big Mouth. So Amanda is the new Tina with the one-liners that she gives on the main challenge. Yep. Amanda is more scripted than Tina. Agreed. Totally agree. They won by 1 second. Okay, yeah, I did get the right people. So too bad Crazy Tanya won't be involved with All Stars unless some type of miracle. I mean, I wish that all that didn't happen the way it happened. You know, all sides of it. I just wish that it didn't happen, but because I would love to see any of them back again. So Tina and Veronica are both okay. So Beth is an alternate. Oh yeah, I heard that Beth was an alternate. I'm like, why is she an alternate? Like she should be on that show. Amaya's the person that slept in her. Oh, wait, that's not her name though. Ayanna. Her name is Ayanna. But there is someone named Amaya, I believe, but from the past. Ryan Casey were on Fresh Meat 1. Who was Ryan's partner on Fresh Meat 1? Oh, was she with Jen? No, that was Fresh Meat 2. I don't remember these things, guys. Casey was with Wes. Tina was with Kenny. Who was Ryan with? I'm sad that we don't have an after show this season. We don't? I haven't looked yet, but are you sure? Aren't they almost done filming All Stars 3 already? I know that they left like a couple of weeks ago, I believe. Is Kendal still willing to do a regular season? I heard that she accepted the call for World of the Worlds 2. Wow. I don't know. I haven't heard that. Jordan West and Bananas. I heard Bananas isn't going to be on All Stars 3 because the price wasn't right. They couldn't negotiate an appearance fee. And I never heard Leroy. I mean, I love it, but I haven't heard Leroy. So why don't they have an after show for this season of the All Stars? I haven't heard this, so I'll go and do some investigating on that. So I'll investigate on Wino after show. So I'll go and maybe lurk around Devin's Instagram and Twitter, and then I'm going to see if it's a different production team for All Stars. Those are the two things that I'm going to do for next time. Isn't Jonna married? Why would she cheat on her husband with MJ? Yeah, that's also what I'm wondering about with that comment. Or was it in the past and I just don't remember? You can watch International Survivor for free on Facebook if you follow the Tribe Spoken. Yes, I have a link for International Survivor. Oh, some International Survivors. So I have a link for. Oh, but if I do it on Facebook, maybe I can stream it better. Maybe it'll be better than using Daily Motion. I'll try it. I do follow Tribe Spoken, so I will check that out, actually. Oh, Race with. Oh my God, that's better. I mean, it's still on my computer, but I might be able to get it better onto my TV because I was able to do it from my computer. And so I did watch All Stars on my TV. It worked. So thanks, girl. Gemini. Jorge says, do you think that they should revive and do a new Real World and Road Rules? Yes, we do. We're talking about this in the beginning. That Drew from Angel Cake Network was talking with me and Chris on Reality Pop just before this about maybe they need to start that engine again and just do it on the regular, like on Paramount Plus, and then they can start bringing in their own people again instead of outsourcing. So I would love it. I loved the Real World and Road Rules. I was more of a Road Rules girl. I thought that the Real World people were soft, but I'd love to see that happen again. I would watch for sure. I think I heard Road Rules is coming back, or maybe I'm wrong. Jorge, yes, I've not heard that, but I would like to hear that. That sounds amazing. Derrick never makes tough decisions. He'll choose Leah to go in and doesn't make any waves. Yeah, agreed. That's what I think too. But he might want an opportunity to take out Nehemiah. So maybe. That's an alternate because she tried to get Tina and Veronica kicked off. Oh, already? Gosh. Oh, dear. Ryan's partner was Melinda. So Melinda was oh boy, that's what a terrible team. Melinda was the vet. Wait, because there was the 4 of them. Hold on. Fresh Meat 1, it had her and Danny and Wes and I forget her name right now. His ex-fiance. Starts with a J. And so they were pretty like dominant, the four of them. So, but I don't remember her being with Ryan, but that could make sense though. Guess I got to do a rewatch. The aftermath is on Challenge Mania. Yes, but is there a aftermath for All Stars? Or is that what you're telling me? I want to see Tina and Beth make up. Me too. Or just like, I want to see them come face to face. I don't remember Brains versus Brawn. It was the most recent season of Australian Survivor. Apparently Jordan told Jemmye why he broke up with Tori, and it's juicy. Spill the tea, Jemmye. Yes, I've been seeing all over that she like, if she's siding with Jordan, then it must be good. And like, I want to know what the tea is. Where is Jemmye spilling it? Is it like for patrons on her YouTube channel? Where is she spilling this tea? I don't know. I mean, Tori seems to like fresh meat, we'll say. So maybe she cheated. Just no influences on the new Real World Road Rules. Oh, I know. They're just going to get crummy people. People are just trying to like get famous. And I don't mind people wanting to be in the spotlight, wanting to be celebrities or whatnot, but casting people that just want to be influencers is so boring. They just have no personality other than being pretty, usually. So All Stars season 3 will not feature not that many old people, but unlike the previous 2 seasons. Yeah, well, it has Kayla and what's her name? Sylvia that we talked about, but everybody else is decently old. Johanna, thank you, Sophie. Thank you. We have mixed stories on why Tori and Jordan broke up. Okay, so Sophie, tell me the mixed story why they broke up, if you know. We almost had Queen Marie Road on All Stars 2. I would take Marie for sure. What happened there, Jelly Donut? I don't remember. Thanks, guys. I mean, this was still pretty fun considering I was all by myself, even though Sophie is missing my girls, Fanta and Michelle. But I still had fun. A good time with you guys talking about this episode, talking about even some of the tea. If you slide it in right now, we can talk about a little bit about why Tori and Jordan broke up. So I don't remember. Maybe was she starting to flirt with Fessy before and then she broke up after? I don't remember the timeline of everything. I don't know why they broke up. Thank you, Sophie, for saying that I did awesome by myself. Well, it was because all of you guys are here to support me. Much appreciate every single one of you. You guys are the best. I love challenge fans because they know their shit. They know what's going on. They know the tea. They know what happened in the past. And I just love talking with people that know at least as much as the challenge as I do. I find that if it's like new challenge watchers, like I can't vibe with them as well because like this don't know some of the history. I love that you guys know all the history. It's so fun for me because like when I forget something, I know one of you guys will remember what's going on. So it's so awesome. So thank you so much for being here with me in the chat today. Celebrity Big Brother season 3, yes, is starting February 3rd. I'm trying to figure out how I want to cover it. I mean, I'll be doing probably quite a bit of stuff with Rob as a podcast, but I don't know if I want to do like a daily thing or like just the episodes. Not sure, but I definitely will be covering that, which I'm very excited about. So unless you guys have anything else to say about this episode, I'll remind you to subscribe, hit that bell so you'll know whenever I go live. Please like this video if you're watching this afterwards. We are just trying to build a community of people that love talking about reality TV, and it starts with subscribing and liking this video and getting this video out to as many people as possible. And lastly, I asked already earlier on, but I'm going to ask again, if you could maybe in the comments, let me know what 4 people you think that Derrick and Jodi are going to be putting down into elimination, or up for elimination to be deliberated with the rest of the cast. So I'm thinking, I'm just going to go off the top of my head. I think Jorge said it, or Justin maybe, but I think that Derrick is not going to want to make any waves. So I think it's going to be a Leah and maybe a Casey. I wouldn't be surprised, though, if Jodi maybe pushes for a Jonna, just because she might have known that Jonna is strong, but she doesn't have a connection with her. So she might just like put her in and be like, oh, I just don't know you. Maybe. So I don't know how much Derrick might fight for Jonna. So I could see those 3 being potential. So Jonna, Casey, and Leah, just kind of layups. But I don't know what the relationship between Casey and Jodi is. Maybe they like each other or are friends. So that's possible. Let's just see what Sophie thinks. So Leah, Ryan, Casey, and Derrick. Yeah, other Derrick. That's a pretty good foursome. I can see that happening because Jodi might not know Ryan that much. Derrick might know him a little bit, but I think that they're probably not going to make that many waves, and nobody knows Ryan that well to be protecting him. Casey, same thing. And Derrick, I don't think that Jasmine and Jonna have any clout really to protect him. And then out of whoever they decide to throw in there, I think who would go in would probably be Leah and Ryan, because I think that the others would be more so protected. So yeah, that's a pretty good guess, Sophie. So let us know in the comments who you think your 2 guys and 2 girls that are going to be voted into deliberation by Jodi and Derrick. So Derrick C, Leah, Kendal. You think she's going to go Kendal and Steve? Ooh, wow. Okay. Very interesting. So I'm curious to see what happens. So make sure you come back and join me with my girls, Michelle and Fanta, on Wednesday after the episode, usually around 10:30, 11 Eastern. We go live and talk about the episode. I will ask them their thoughts on the premiere because they will have watched it by then of All Stars. So you will get their takes. And then hopefully both of them will be able to join me next Friday at around this time, 10 p.m. Eastern, to talk about episode 2 of All Stars season 2. Thanks again, everybody. Much appreciate you, and we will see you soon.